What's happening?
We're just excited.
You missed out on the memo.
I did miss the memo.
Welcome to Literarily Wasted. It is Wednesday. It is March 30th, the last Wednesday of the month, which means we get to talk about the whole book of The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden.
The book hole.
And
the book a-hole.
Talia, who's here?
Well, that's so funny you should ask.
With your burger in your
mouth. I would say that it's Tammy and Kristen and Jennifer, Brandy, Natalie, Brandy again, and Brenda and Bobby and Cindy and Katie and Stacy and Jen, Victoria. Hi, Giggles and Rebecca and Judy and Philip and Sean, Rachel, Adrienne. Hi, Tim and Henry and Jody and Peggy and Tara, Sean, Tammy, Bethany, Kent, Kelly, Tara, Willa, and Tim again. Hi.
Oh, that's good.
And now I'm going to finish eating my dinner.
What you got there? What kind of burger is that?
Oh, okay.
A cheesy garlic burger.
So, life hack, very quickly. If you get the ready-made Costco burgers that you just microwave for 3 minutes and 45 seconds,
it's like the bun, the cheese,
and put
the
some garlic aioli on it.
Oh, all right.
Fan.
This video brought to you by Costco. Costco, it's
get
massive.
your frozen burger on.
We have everything.
It's an entire burger that you just stick in the microwave.
Yeah, it's got the cheese and the bun and everything. It's so great.
Wow.
Wow. Who's hungry? Who's hungry for some book discussion?
Me.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Just whoosh,
Well
transition.
Done. Well done.
Okay, so we finished The Bear and the Nightingale. I finished it yesterday.
Same.
And that is a tasty burger.
It is
in quotes.
All right, just gonna give
I
you a
was
quick
about to
heads
say.
up. The weather here is
Yeah.
It is incredibly terrifyingly windy. Like Lucas just had to go and take stuff out of the porch really quick.
Yeah.
So because of that and the potential for very, very bad thunderstorms later this evening, we might lose power. Our house is full of old trees, and no, Alex, nobody did, and we're going to talk about that in a minute.
We can
This
talk
is a
about
zombie
it.
book, and no one told me.
There's
Actually,
no
they're
zombies in
vampires.
this book.
They're umpires. Anyways, but we might lose. Wait, no. Yes, we might lose power.
So we won't lose
Be
power, but because there's so much things knocking around outside, there's a high likelihood of our dogs to just start screaming at any point.
That's probably going to happen. It's been happening. I'm actually surprised they're quiet right now.
Yeah, they are pretty subdued at the moment.
It won't last.
But the night is young. So
You're so beautiful. Sorry.
Vampires.
So
They're not close enough to being vampires for me.
Oh, Stacy, a tree fell in your house. I'm so sorry.
No.
Aww.
I hope everything is okay.
Yeah, that's not okay.
I mean, you're okay, and that's good. I'm assuming because your thumbs are okay. They're typing.
I can survive barking dogs.
I think barking dogs is worse. Because they're so annoying.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Maybe
And
the
they
dogs are
don't
zombies.
Stop.
They
But
really
you
don't.
could
You'll
put in
see.
your earbuds and listen to something else.
You'll
You can't
see.
plug your nose and smell something else.
You'll see. You'll all see. Anyway. So The Bear and the Nightingale.
The Bear and the Nightingale.
What did you think,
Yeah.
Chrissy?
I really liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I loved the fairy tale aspect to it, and I just really, really liked the whole thing.
There it is.
Yeah.
Christy's review.
Boom.
I'll go
did-
quick. No,
What?
just kidding. Adam will.
No,
Go.
you can go. You can go. You can go.
Wait. Adam.
Rochambeau.
This isn't going to work.
Why
Wait.
are you going so slow?
Why are you going so
Why are you
slow?
doing so many?
Okay.
All right, ready? One, two, three.
What did one?
Why do
two,
we always
three,
do this?
shoot?
It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I won. Okay,
You
so
did win.
here's what I felt about the book. I did see some people who were like, nothing happened. And I guess I was fine with that. I didn't really have that feeling. I enjoyed the second half more than the first half. I felt like I followed it better. I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I already bought the rest of the trilogy because I think I'm actually going to start the second book. Like, it left me, I like that it finished up the storyline, but it did definitely like leave me. I want to know more of her story. I want to know her next adventure and everything. So is it the best thing that I ever read? No, but that's not the point of the discussion. No, I really enjoyed it.
I think the second half was much better because stuff was actually happening at a pretty frequent pace. Yeah, Missy, I'm with you. It was a really slow start for me. I think at the end, like it did get much more interesting, but for me, it's not a world that I want to spend much time in. So I returned the audiobook, and that's fine. It wasn't bad, and I liked it once it started to pick up and it got a little bit more actiony, but I think I need to read it if I want to continue, just because of all the names and little intricate things that I think get a little lost in the audiobook that I wish I would have read this one. But the audiobook was good, and again, I liked how it kind of wrapped up. It's just I just don't care for old, I don't know. Like,
That's so funny because you love mythology and
I do.
reading all those old like fairy tales and stuff.
I just don't know if I don't know. Maybe actually reading it would help, because I think for me this audiobook was a little bit harder, even though the narration was really good. It's just all the names and everything, and I really wish I had the glossary.
Yeah. Well, and having like 3 versions of every name was a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
But I didn't have as much of a problem with it after I figured out like.
Well, you're smarter than me,
art.
Christy. Come on.
She's smarter than everybody.
I know.
That's true.
I enjoyed the book. Like everybody else said, like the first half was a lot harder for me to get through. The second half picked up, and so it was much easier for me to kind of stay invested. I still had a little bit of like a disassociation from or an inability to retain. It was just like it was hard for me to like remember. Maybe I'm losing my mind or something, but it was just hard for me to like remember what was happening sometimes. I mean, like, wait, okay, now we're here now and stuff. But I did enjoy it, especially once we got to sort of like the climax of the story, and the final fight out in the middle of the woods felt very kind of, it was like, I said this to Christy, she didn't agree with me, but it was like kind of like an Avengers Endgame moment for me, when like they're out there and like she's facing down the big bad by herself, and all of a sudden everybody else kind of comes out the woods, even though some of them didn't take her side. It was like all the Avengers coming together. It was like every character that mattered coming to like help, sort of. So I had a kind of an Avengers Endgame moment there at the end. That was kind of cool. But I do feel like there was a huge. This book was basically a huge setup. Like they took a lot of time to establish things, and now that we're like at the end of the book, I feel like, okay, now we're in the story. Now we can see where it goes, because now like Vasya is kind of just, she's going off on her adventure now, and Morozko is kind of there. The frost demon.
Death.
And her horse.
Horse. And once I found out the horse's name was Nightingale, did anyone else read the rest of the book like?
Yes,
I was
definitely.
waiting for that horse to get it.
Please,
Definitely.
yeah. I was like, maybe she'll weep when it's had a really, really long, full life.
But the horse
and then she'll weep with happiness. Is that
the horse was actually a bird at first, wasn't it?
It was a nightingale.
Yes.
And then Morozko turned it into a horse.
Yeah.
I loved it. Yeah, it's a magic bird horse.
We have all of a sudden we have Anna like reach full evil stepmom status.
Okay.
You're gonna go out into the woods and die, or you're gonna go to a convent.
Yes. But I have a thing about the stepmom that I want to know if anyone else felt this way. So yeah, we went from, I feel like in the beginning we had all the sympathy for the stepmom, right? And then she just became awful and hated her. And then she got worse, hated her more. When she died, my sympathy came back.
Yeah.
Like she was the worst. She was. But she had a horrible life, man. And my sympathy came back for her in the end. And I did. And I know some people probably just hated her through the end, and that's fine too. But I did finally, like, after I was a little sad when she died because I was like, man, what a tragic life she did lead
Yeah.
that made her that way.
Yeah, she was just so like horribly deceived there at the end by Constantine, who was totally irredeemable, by the way. That guy.
Yeah, no, he
sucks.
sucks. Frollo, what's his name? Frollo? It is not Froyo.
Frollo.
Froyo. From Hunchback, the movie that you haven't seen that you need to see.
Yeah, that's a reference. But yeah, and somebody mentioned the fact that like the bear was taken down too easily. Well, I mean, Piotr, the dad, came in and kind of saved the day, and then Vasia's like, "I'm gonna get you," and Morozko's like, "Wait, no, hang, it's done. You can back off now. It's fine."
I thought it was interesting that Piotr basically tricked the bear into accepting his life to go away.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen that in a story, and I really appreciated it.
See, for me, I don't know that it was too easy because I was sad that he died.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sad that now she has like no family left because she's got her brother and her sister that she does love. Sorry, I keep messing with my hair; it's just driving me crazy. But like, she can't stay with them, or else the village is like gonna burn their house down, probably.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, somehow after all of this, they're still like, she's a witch. Like an evil
To
one.
be fair, like
She is.
there's magic involved and she can see demons.
Yeah, but like she helped everybody.
She was, oh my gosh, she always tried to help people, even people who were trying to like destroy her.
Yeah.
I really like her.
How many times did she save Constantine? At least twice.
Yeah, it's still after all of that.
Thank you, Katie. It did a cool thing earlier. I wonder if I can get it to do it again. I had an accidental monocle. Wait.
Oh, right.
No,
It was the other side.
Wait, it still works. I see.
I could have done that when my hair was long. But yeah, like she. So we kind of like go back through the story. This is maybe just helping me like remember it all. But like,
He's moving.
So she was cast out. They were like, she has to go to a convent just so we can save the village. And then I told her, and she was like, I'm not going to do that. And then Anna went full stepmom and was like, basically like, you go bring me these flowers and then I'll forgive you. And then she went out and
convent or death.
Yeah, convent or death.
Yeah.
And
yeah, like a task that she could not have accomplished, right?
Yeah, so she went out into the woods and Morozko found her.
Well, she went to the tree.
She found the tree.
And was kind of being taken in by the bear. And that's when Morozko came and saved her. And then he tested her and almost killed her.
How did that happen again? Somebody recap that for me.
Wait, sorry. No, hold on. I got distracted. I was reading Vanessa's. Okay, what?
When she went out to find the snowdrops, and then Morozko saved her from the bear, but then tested her by almost killing her. What was that part? The testing her, like, why did that happen, and how did it happen?
She was injured.
She was injured because she injured herself to save Constantine. She like cut open her hand.
Well, and then he like touched her also, like, and I guess he can like turn that off and on and be like, I'm gonna touch you, and oh, you got frostbite, and then I touch you again, I fixed it.
Well,
like,
well, he said that. I mean, his healing hurts though too.
Yeah, but we're before that.
Yeah, before the healing.
Before that.
This is before she even brought her to the house.
Yeah, when he was testing her to find out if he should even save her.
Because he was the one that caused her to need to be healed, right?
He said something about courage. Like, you have to, like, right. Like, it wasn't just about, like, your hair. It wasn't just about her blood or something else. She also had to prove that she was brave, something. Yeah. So maybe that was, you just had to see, like, is she just going to wander in the woods until she freezes to death and be like, I guess that's brave enough. You can come on.
Well, it was kind of like the story that Dunya told at the beginning.
Yeah.
Um,
Which all the foreshadowing.
Yeah, we got basically the whole
Immediately.
story in the first
Yeah.
2 pages.
Yep.
But so I was kind of a little unclear as to that chain of events, but then she made it into well, also there was like this event before that. I'm remembering that like the dead came back and started terrorizing the town, and it was Dunya, and Dunya was like going to kill Constantine, and she stopped Dunya from killing Constantine.
No,
Was it
that
Dunya?
wasn't Dunya at that point. That was the maid.
Oh, right, the one that they buried.
Yeah, she attacked Constantine.
Right.
Is that the one that they drove the stake through its mouth?
Yes.
Yup.
And
That was
that's
cool.
like classic vampire. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure that happened in Dracula. Like I'm pretty sure like a virgin walking along the graveyard to like trip on a grave to find where the vampire lives. I'm pretty sure all of that is like classic vampire.
The zombie umpire.
I don't think I'd ever heard
it's
of.
vampire.
Yeah,
Zombie
I don't think I'd ever
umpire.
heard of driving it through the
Yeah,
mouth.
if you look at the glossary,
Um,
it's straight up vampire.
Yeah.
it's pretty
Under umpire.
interesting.
But to be fair, I did think it was a zombie before I figured out it was a vampire, and then I was like, "Oh
'Cause
crap,
they said
Talia's gonna be
beware
mad
the
at me."
dead. Yeah. Because
But vampires are dead.
Vampires are technically zombies.
it's the decay. The decay is the defining difference that is a problem for me. Vampires
thought it was-
usually freeze.
I thought it was dead people eating other people.
Well, vampires. I feel like most vampires usually are like cleaner eaters.
Hmm.
Bless
Ooh.
you.
So sorry.
Bless
And that,
you.
so that matters. But they also usually are just like frozen in time, so you don't get the grossness. But then when I hear about the body and it's still decaying and it's like this gross thing and it's just like holes, like not even eyeballs anymore, and it's rotting and stinky. No.
In
I mean,
the
that is
audio-
I feel like you're adding description. I don't remember all of that.
Yeah, I think you just
Nuh-uh. They describe her as she's just got holes in her face
and her
that
fingers,
she's
her,
and she's stinky. Does it say undead?
her.
Nope,
that's
it
a-
just says vampire.
vampire.
It's in the audiobook they call it. They pronounce it oopier.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Get zombie poopier.
So,
But
sorry, go ahead, Lucas.
well, no, I was gonna say like even Dunya, like, didn't it say something about her like the bones of her fingertips?
Yes,
like
it's just bones
coming-
sticking out because
yeah.
she's a zombie, and they said she stank. She's
Well,
stanky.
Russian
she's
vampires
dead.
or maybe zombies. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I got
Brandy-
tricked into reading a vampire zombie book.
Yeah, and you liked it.
I did. Not
want
that part.
more.
That part was scary. I was reading, and all of a sudden, I realized I was laying on the couch downstairs, and there's a window right across from the couch. And I was reading, and I went, "Don't look up! Don't look up! Don't look up! I'm gonna look in the window, and there's gonna be a face in the window. I can't not look. Oh, I looked, and there wasn't a face. It's okay."
So here's
terrified.
switching gears a little bit. What was the talisman?
Oh yeah, everybody wants to know that.
I think we'll find out in the second.
Oh, come on. That's a cop out.
Yeah,
I mean, but it's true.
I mean, it's probably true, which is
yeah, I think it was just set up for the second book, but I kept waiting for the talisman to matter at all.
I did
Yeah.
too.
I also kept waiting for Sasha. Is it Sasha that left for the convent?
yes.
Yes.
Whatever. I
Mhm.
kept expecting him to come back because that was such a great setup. Yeah.
Oh.
But I did read that the second book does have Sasha in it.
Yes, I read that. No spoilers. It says it on the back of the book
Yeah.
that both the two siblings that went away, the sister and the brother, that they come back, that they have a presence in the second book.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying they feature heavily in book 2.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to get more of Vasya.
I do like her character a lot. Like
Mhm.
I love all of her woodland critter friends, and so yeah. I mean, it got more interesting. Just I don't know.
It really switched gears though. Really, like, you know, the first half of the book was so like bleak and like gritty and like there was like a hint of sort of magic and stuff like that, but it was still like, fairy tales are fairy tales and life is life, and there are maybe like these creatures that only certain people can see. And then it went like hard into like this world of Morozco, and like you're like, where am I? I'm in like cloud dream world, and all of a sudden she's like, I guess it's a testament to like the description and the writing style that like you really felt the difference between where she was in Morozco's place versus like the conditions that she existed in, and all of a sudden she's like, for the first time in the entire book, she feels warm and like fed. Like you're like, oh my god.
I loved his magical hut, and that like it was like this on like some plane of magical existence that overlaps the real world. So like if you have the second sight, you're like literally about to yarf because you don't know what you're seeing. But for anybody else, it's just like, oh, this is just snow. You're just like out in nature. But then when you're, is that the window?
Yeah.
Did y'all hear that?
It sounded like a dog growling.
Yeah, I heard something, but it wasn't. It was low.
That's the wind coming through the cracked window. That
we got new windows, but one of them
is broken.
So
they have to replace it.
I thought Gus was like farting or something. It was like, what is that? It's the wind. It's the wind. I forgot what I was talking about, but yeah, no, the magical hut, super cool.
Magical hut, and
I want to
just
go
a
there.
contrast.
Yeah, I'm with you, Adam. And I think that's what just kind of sullied it. It's just like it's just such a crappy time and a crappy place to live, and I don't want to read about that. Like,
it's like westerns.
Yeah, like yeah, that's kind of crappy. Like
westerns suck.
What?
Well, and it was definitely a very bad time for women.
Oh yeah.
Gosh,
you could be a mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
very limited options.
Check your teeth.
Earlier, a bunch of people were talking about how after she leaves the town, how do the Domovoi and the other demons survive without her?
I think she's going to instruct her siblings to be like, you go back to leaving, because they got rid of Constantine and he was the reason that they couldn't leave offerings anymore. So I think they'll go back to doing that.
Yeah.
Like to them, for some reason, that's not witchcraft. Just being able to see them is, I guess.
But it was really cool that Alyosha was able to see them at the end.
Yeah. Well, he helped her with the killing the vampire too. So yeah, I think he went back and was like, "Hey guys."
Well, the vampires, everybody could see, right?
Let's keep doing this. Well, but nobody did.
Well, they were just stealthy, weren't they?
Yeah.
But like those weren't like hidden behind some sight thing, right? Those were just out there for everybody.
For everyone to enjoy.
I have
a question for Lucas.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Adrian. No, I love dystopian novels. There's something about living in more. I know this isn't necessarily like medieval, where I don't but just living in a place without kind of running water and technology and like outhouse. But dystopian, there's hints of our present in the future. That
so you just like the future, not the past.
Yes.
Okay.
I would much rather live in a sci-fi.
I don't want to live in this.
No, but I'm just saying. No. But no, like I love like the Fallout games are some of my most favorite video games ever, and like I would totally. Well, I don't want to live there, but I like exploring those worlds.
They had nuclear roaches the size of cars. Forget it.
Everybody's talking about what they can't live without now.
Oh, heated blankets.
I was so annoyed when the priest realized the shadow wasn't God but the bear. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to keep talking to the demon and do what it says." Yeah, I thought the same thing. I mean, the bear did kind of.
He's the worst.
Like, I don't know. The bear had Constantine's number, really. Like, Constantine just sucked. He just sucked the whole time.
I feel like Constantine kept talking to the bear after he figured out it wasn't God because he had just basically let Vasya go to her death. And he was feeling so guilty for it. And
As he should.
As he should, yeah. And the bear was the only thing he could think of that might help get her back. But it did seem kind of out of character just for like a man of God who really, really believes and wants the best for the people that he's around, even if he is terrible.
Yeah, and then he sacrificed Anna.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think he self-justified so many things. First off, the bear was poisoning him for a long time. Remember, we started to see his temperament like drastically. The shadows literally increased around him.
You're right.
Because of what was happening. But then, so in his head, he's just justifying it. He's like, oh, well, yes, I'm still talking to the demon, but it's to save Vasya. And yes, I'm giving him Anna, but he said he wasn't going to kill her and it'll save Vasya's life. And also she's annoying and she's a mess. So like, but yeah, he's the worst. And I hope he does have a little reappearance in maybe the third book. I'm not ready to see him again in the second book, but maybe in the third book and maybe he gets some comeuppance. Like that would be nice.
Yeah.
I liked Vasya's confrontation with him where she was just like, you are done. Like, get out. Like,
that was fun.
Done. I was like, thank you.
Be like, here is death. Death is my BFF.
Yeah.
He said, you got to go.
Yeah.
That was very enjoyable for me when she brought Morozko. And Morozko at the end was like,
he had fun though. He had so much fun doing it.
He's like, nobody's ever asked me to do that.
Yeah.
Cindy, that's kind of how I saw Constantine was kind of like an Anakin, you know, his descent into this new life. Okay, don't you go.
Do y'all hear the window?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? The cat is like freaking out.
So could we Scooby-Doo Constantine before I leave? Yeah, I love that they just like, let's go scare him to death with actual death. That was a fun part for me.
Mm-hmm.
Were you gonna bring up something on the?
I don't know.
Piece of paper.
So who was the Nightingale?
I think Vasya.
Horse.
I think based on the title of the book, it has to be Vasya because that's what I want. It's like David and Goliath.
I actually have an answer from the author, but go ahead, Talia.
I was going to say, okay, to me, yes, I agree. I think it has to be Vasya because the horse, yes, obviously was a nightingale, but I think the horse is like a reflection of her and her spirit because otherwise the name of the book is stupid because it's like, oh, yes, it's the bad guy. And then a random pony that shows up in the last little bit of the book that is really cool, but doesn't carry the weight of the story. Mm-hmm. So I like to think that horse weeping for the nightingale, I almost said puppy, the puppy horse.
And they gave her the bird.
Is a manifestation of her.
Mm. Yeah, you said what I was thinking just in a better way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and y'all had me so scared in the last live discussion because she kept calling Irina little bird.
Yeah, I didn't want.
Oh, and I was just dreading her dying because I knew it was going to happen because that made so much sense.
And I like her. And
I know, me too.
Her mom sucked, and she still turned out like a sweet kid. Gotta love that.
Yeah. So
he's a good boy. I'm just
he's such a good boy.
So from Katherine Arden, the literal nightingale in the book is, as you say, Vasya's horse. On a more symbolic level, The Bear and the Nightingale is about so many things set in opposition: order and chaos, men and women, fear and faith, youth and experience, Christianity and paganism. And I wanted a title that spoke to those oppositions.
Okay, so that's a little bit more esoteric than we had originally thought. But okay, Katherine, whatever, you're wrong, but
I mean, I guess you wrote it, but okay. But it's true though, because I think Vasya though is the opposite of the one-eyed man.
Mm-hmm.
So you know,
one-eyed Willie.
Same thing.
How is a bear the opposite of a nightingale? Well,
one has fur and one has feathers. One is big and the other is small. Mm-hmm. One sleeps during the winter and the other does not.
Just starves to death.
Yeah.
But, you know, as we've seen in other media, bears and birds can get along, like Banjo and Kazooie.
It's true. They did Banjo too. I got you.
I felt it.
One of the things that really bothered me was that prophecy thing from the first half of the book was before the end, you will pluck snowdrops at midwinter, die by your own choosing, and weep for a nightingale. Are they even talking about this book?
He said before the end. He didn't say before the end of the book. Maybe he meant before the end of your life.
Yeah.
So that's what, because I remembered what page that was on because it was driving me crazy. So every time something new would come back, I'd flip back and read the prophecy again and be like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
So I think he meant before the end, not before the end of this climactic part of the story, but before the end of your time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm holding out hope that her weeping for the nightingale is like, oh, her magical flying winged horse lives to be 300. How cool. And then she's like, good job, that'll do, pig. And then it goes to sleep peacefully and passes on, and then she weeps a happy tear. That's what I had in my head.
I mean, I can appreciate that having that much foresight into like the rest of the series, but I still think it should have pertained to something in this book.
Oh, Kathy, Google Banjo Kazooie. Yes.
Not right now, Kathy. We're in the middle of a discussion.
Yeah, but you can open up a new tab.
Did you agree with Dunya's decision to hold on to the necklace that Morozko sent for Vasya for so long? How did it make you feel when she continued to put off giving Vasya the talisman?
I wanted to shake her. Be like, lady, I get it. I know that it's coming from a good place. You want to protect her. But bad stuff is happening. And that's not your sparkly. Pass it on.
Didn't do much good for her.
No, it didn't.
No,
I will say, her death, y'all, the end. Like it was she finally like had that moment where she like was at peace, and then stupid bear man came in and she was so scared. I hated that.
Yeah, and she died like.
We'll find out in the next book, Alex. It's okay. It's okay.
Mean, it's why it didn't really do anything for me. Like Dunya holding on to the necklace. Like, I feel like she must have had some kind of reason, but
Ashley, I'm so sorry. I just read Ashley's. For some reason, my head really read that as like, and she was 9.5, like on a scale of 1 to 10, and I was like, what? So sorry.
But like, I don't know, like because the thing didn't actually like do anything. I don't know how I felt about it. Like I feel like it said more to like what it did for me was that it helped me understand their relationship.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently the necklace was to protect her. Why did Morozko even say it was okay not to give it to her? Why didn't he just give it to her himself?
Yeah.
Why did he give it to Piotr to give to Dunya? Why did Piotr give it to Dunya? Why was this being passed around like that? I don't know.
Well, what was even the point of the necklace? Because it really could have just not been in the story, and the story wouldn't have changed at all. It just would have been a little bit shorter.
We don't know that.
Yeah. Well, and it might probably has something or a bigger role in the next 2 books, but still.
Just a MacGuffin.
It's gonna fall. I think. Do you mind?
Go in your butthole.
It marked her as being his.
I feel. Oh, come on, buddy. I feel like it also. I wonder, like, after she was wearing it in the past, she would just be there. Yes, they talked about how like it would feel, it would activate during certain situations, but also I feel like there were times where she just talked. She was like, "Hey, Morozko, can you hear me?" And he was like, "Yep, I'm here." And I wonder if that activated like if she's wearing it, he's like, oh, maybe he's always aware of her or can hear her.
Like a tracker, like a GPS tracker.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't have the patience to find out, so
I will read it and I'll tell you.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
don't
we'll
tell
let
me.
you
That's
know.
spoilers. No typing.
So, Phil, this is a good question too, because I noticed that also, and like I know that she got sleep and exercise and food for like days.
Sounded
like,
nice.
But I
like
also
a
wonder,
spa
like,
day.
but it
Like a
also
spa
like probably emotionally unlocked part of her that, remember, like even Constantine noted it and said, like, you know, whenever she was in the house, she was always kind of withdrawn, like she would have to lock part of herself away. And then that day he saw her in the field with the horse and she was just like aglow with the sun and like so free. And I wonder if that time in the magical hut like unlocked that part of her. And like it's true, when someone just feels joyful and they can be themselves, it's like she let all of that part of herself out and all of a sudden it like made her beautiful, like in just the way that someone who's happy and who they're meant to be would have like that shining light about them. I don't know.
Well, she was pretty good at resisting who she wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole story.
You gotta love that.
She definitely she was a headstrong. I like other people said, I really liked her. She was a solid protagonist.
Yeah.
Do y'all think the bear's gonna, don't spoil it if you know, do you think the bear's gonna come back out before the end of the trilogy? I feel like we are not done with the bear.
Technically, it shouldn't, because before this instant, it had been trapped for like 300 years or something, right?
Mega bear.
So I can't imagine it coming back in Bastia's lifetime, but it also makes sense that it might.
I did like that he acknowledged, he was like, wow, I've been asleep for like many men lifetime, and now all of a sudden everything's happening.
Yeah.
What a fun time this is.
I kind of wonder if Morosco might stop being a good guy in later books, because they were pretty clear that he can be good or bad.
It's just kind of whatever he feels like.
Yeah. So I think that could be really interesting.
Yeah, we got a 101 Dalmatians reference.
Mm.
There it is.
Not precisely handsome, but a face you wouldn't grow tired of.
Yeah.
Well, who was it? It was her potential husband that described her in such a way. It was like, you know, you're not
beautiful, but what was the word?
I don't like him. He sucked in him so.
Suck.
I love that line though.
I don't remember what it was.
Are you talking
like
about the suitor?
Yeah.
Guy.
I think it might have been magnificent. Let's see. I have it written down.
Was that a little convenient? They just kind of like brushed him away.
Well, I think
it felt like I felt that was going to lead up into something way bigger, and then it was just like.
No, I'm glad he got brushed away because he started getting real handsy, and I started to get real mad.
No doubt, but it's just like
he was a poop head, Kelly.
Poop head.
Yeah, I was sad for his horse.
Head.
Magnificent.
I was.
Oh, I am sad for his horse too, though.
Yeah, they did kind of drive him away, but it was after the big event where she had to save her brother from and the horse that went crazy and all that stuff, right? By like he was like, she rides a horse like I've never seen, so I'm out of here.
Well, no, it's that she like insulted him.
It was his horse.
And emasculated him by taking his horse in front of everybody.
Yeah. So the circumstances leading up to his departure were kind of big and eventful, and said a lot about his character. And I'd like to tell you that I'm glad he got away or he was pushed away because he also sucked. He and Constantine can just like share a room together, just be terrible together. Don't want to read that book.
No.
The Kirill and Constantine show.
No.
Terrible people.
Yeah.
Doing terrible things.
So which of the demons that Bastia encounters is your favorite?
Ooh, favorite demons.
I kind of love the little stove one.
The Domovoi.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, the Domovoi is cool.
He's like, I'll protect. I just love how like when Dunya was trying to come back and I just pictured him like crouched in front of the oven, this cute little chubby gnome being like, I can do it, I'm gonna protect the house, hold on.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm ready, no, I'm using all my power. And he's like, I can do it, I can keep her out. And then he was like, oh nope.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah, we got-
Protect
I did
him.
also really like the horse
I
one.
like the horse guy.
Look at the horse guy. Evan guy.
And-
I just like that he protects
And there was
the home. He just wants bread crust.
there was the steam room one or what
The
a
Bonnick.
bathhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, bathhouse one.
Yeah.
The naked lake demon who eats people but is totally fine.
Yeah,
It's
the
totally fine.
I mean,
Rusalkas are really cool.
Mhm.
Like, yeah.
I kind of wish she had gotten Constantine though. She was so close.
She was
close.
close.
She wanted him too.
But she
did.
helped
He
turn
arrived.
the tide against the bear because remember she was gonna murder. I was gonna say Alfonso, her brother, Alyosha.
Alyosha.
And she was like, I'm warning you, when the bear calls me, like I'm gonna have to obey, like I can't help it. And then she still
do that.
she still
We
did.
need
She
that
still
in our live stream.
tried.
Mhm. No, I mean
Yeah,
like
The,
go
the,
add
Let's
them.
find him.
yeah, the Domovoy has a wife too, like in a lot of these fairy
Hmm.
tales. They were if you look back on that post that I did, they were basically cast down into people's chimneys, and so
He's so cute. Ew, not that one.
he's just kind of like an ashy.
Little bearded thing.
I like the little furry ones.
Yeah, I love that. I love that whole thing in the book. All of the demons or spirits or whatever they are.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the
Make
book.
fluid.
Honestly, was he's like a
Get in
kinda-
there.
Oh, that's
Come
the
on.
one he just saved.
Yeah, I'll
He's
put
about
it
to
on
post
the
that
screen.
one.
What?
back
There it
up.
is.
You did.
Yeah, that was my favorite part of the book. Was just all of the there you go. That's
There he is.
like I like Vasya a lot, but I just wanted her to interact with all these, folklore, fairy tale creatures a little bit more. I mean, she did, but I
want the little furry guy to live in our fireplace or our dead oven, and I'll just be like, I'll give you bread crusts if you like darn all the clothes and make sure no one breaks in.
Oh yeah, the sewing one. That would be
Right?
useful.
That's
Yeah.
super handy. I think it's him. I think it's the homestead guy.
I loved at the end when all of the house spirits came to Vasya and the bear was so shocked. He's like, they never leave the houses.
house.
Adventures.
yeah.
It was the Adventures in game for me.
I did really, really love that, even though I don't agree with your
On your
Avengers
left
thing.
was the Dumbledore.
Yeah, Underoos. Yeah.
So, do you trust the Winter King? What do you think he has in store for Vasya?
He's kind of a trickster, that one, isn't he?
I think he
he's-
might be.
I
A bit
think
of a
he's
Loki.
gonna end up making me sad because he's
I think
gonna.
so too.
I think she's
Well,
gonna
do
fall in love
something.
with him, and then he's gonna make her sad.
I think he's already kind of in love with her,
Well, yeah.
and she's like, I don't care. I want to see the world.
I could see her not falling in love with anybody.
Yeah, I don't think she was gonna. I don't think she said at the end, she's like, "I will be a wife to no one, a partner to no one," basically. But according to Leanne, pale, dark, muscular, and hot, which is a feat for the frost demon.
Make you pale and dark together.
Pale and dark.
I know that you meant like dark haired, but it is funny just to.
He's got Loki
Got
vibes.
Loki vibes.
Chaotic neutral. He loves her.
Yeah, you didn't read it right.
He loves her.
It's he loathes her. He loathes her.
Yeah, there was was a weird, like, he did kiss her at the end,
Oh, right, he did.
which is
Gross.
I guess frost demons
I love that.
act like humans.
Yeah, I love that he gave her what is it?
Dowry?
Yeah, he gave her
Dowry?
this amazing, the princess dowry, and she was like, no.
I was just talking about the
She's like, ooh, but I can trade all this stuff for goodies. I'm gonna go back and get all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought that was very cool.
Ooh, Arabella, Vasya's death was predicted though. It wasn't her outright death, because once, like I said, I read that stupid prophecy a bajillion times. It's that she would choose death.
Yeah, die by your own choosing.
And her going to go get those snowdrops, in my opinion, was her choosing death. That's how I saw it. I could be wrong. Maybe she'll choose death in a different book. But for me, she knew, like, if he hadn't saved her, she would have died. Like, she already, her hands and her, she like lost her hands and her feet pretty much. To me, that was the moment where she chose death rather than go to the convent. She went out into the woods.
You fear death.
She did not.
I thought it was kind of sad when Anna was so upset that Vasya was getting the life that she wanted, going to the convent. I think that's part of the thing that broke her.
She chose Morozko, and Morozko is death.
Well, you also got to think, yes, that's a great point. But Anna, I feel like the snap, what her absolute mental breakdown of being like, I'm going to send Vasya to her death. Be like, if you're going to find it's convent or death. Like, that was also after her one safe place was the church. That was the one place where she was safe from seeing things. And then she saw the bear in church. So, of course, like, she already thought she was insane. And now she's just like, okay, my one safe place has been taken away from me.
And didn't Constantine say that, like, Irina's life was in danger if Vasya stayed?
I don't remember that.
I feel like it might have happened. Where did this
could
book?
have. Oh, I have the book.
You have it. Stole it.
I will read things while you look for it.
Okay. I'm out of topics anyways.
Correctamundo.
With this fish.
Night King, a la Beauty and the Beast. Night King?
I got a buckwheat whiskey recommendation for a different group.
What?
It's okay, Martin. We know you like to drink whiskey.
But I thought when she moved up there, she still saw demons in the church because it wasn't as churchy as the ones in Moscow.
I don't think she did.
No.
I feel like the bear was it. Like, even though the church was not the church that she wanted, that there still weren't any spirits there because it's a Christian church. So no, I think the bear, and that's when she had her absolute meltdown. And wasn't it creepy? Because it was like she saw, it was the face, and all of a sudden it was the one-eyed guy, and he went from like being somber Jesus to being like, and she was like, oh God,
that was disturbing.
Yeah,
Chris,
and then everyone started trampling in the church. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, you must send Vasya away now. Let's see. The demons come because of her. Did you see how she ran out into the night? She summoned them. She is not afraid. It may be that your own daughter, the little Irina, will be the next to die. Demons have appetite for more than horses.
So he's just doing scare tactics here. He's just being awful.
Yeah, Kira, no. That's how the bear got in, because the bear had poisoned Constantine. And once your priest of the church basically works for the demon or whatever, that is basically now the demon's church.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he even called upon, like, he's like, what is your name? What do I call you? So he invoked his name
in the service.
Yeah.
So,
like, it's like, oh, you're in mass and you're calling upon the Lord of the Storm.
What a terrible guy.
Yeah.
Why was he there?
No, he was getting too powerful.
No, why was the priest even there? Why did he?
Yeah, they sent him away because they were worried that because he was so charismatic and so many people loved him that the people were going to basically put him up as the czar, the lead. I don't know.
No, not the czar. The main church dude. He was. I think it was a combination of job security and him. Making
that's all these people did was shuffle people unwanted away. It's like, oh, I have power and I want to keep my little fiefdom, so I'm going to move this person here and move this person here, and I'm going to marry those people because that's going to set me up. So It's pretty screwed up.
Okay, so it was a political. It was like a political
The Metropolitan. The Metropolitan is the high official in the Orthodox Church, and he was the one that said,
"Oh, that's right. They'd be Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox."
Okay, well that helps. I've forgotten why he was.
Yeah,
he was there. Makes sense.
He was gaining too many followers, so he said, "I'm going to go put him out in the country." So he won't get any followers out there because there's just trees.
The beginning had a lot of
crazy bear man.
The beginning had a lot of like it was a lot of political chess pieces in the beginning. It was like a Game of Thrones kind of deal, and then it turned into like just straight crazy magic.
It was like just ignore all those other people.
Giggles vids. You're so right. When he said that to her, he was like, "There's nothing to see." Basically, I was reading and I was like, "Oh."
What did he tell her?
What?
He literally is that. She was like, "I know that you see Vasya. Why can't you see me?" And he was like, "There's nothing to see." Now get out.
Yeah, he was so mean to her. So mean to her, all the way up into sending her to her death as a sacrifice to get Vasya back. And him being creepy on Vasya too was just.
Yeah, it was.
I'm telling you, Hunchback of Notre Dame. You should watch it. The music is great. Vasya is Esmeralda. Constantine is Froyo.
Froyo.
His name's Frollo.
Yogurt Mountain.
It's with double L's. He's Judge Frollo or something. He's the worst. Speaking of good Disney villains, he tried to kill a baby like right in the middle. I mean, the beginning of the movie. Like, anyways, sorry. It's a great movie. You should watch it.
Yeah, sorry. It's a loud
bingo card.
They haven't barked yet, so that's good.
That's true.
Well, don't jinx it.
I was hoping the Dumb Boys would have saved Anna, and that Anna would have realized that the demons were pretty cool.
That would have been good. Yeah, I would have liked that
turn for her.
It's so interesting that she was terrified of them, though, because it kind of seemed like they totally ignored her and were just doing their own thing. In fact, they were helping out. Like the one that was tormenting her at where, like before she married, was just doing the sewing.
I mean, I guess I get it. They're like these people, especially she's coming from a Christian nation, and they're so anti-witchcraft and so fear-based. And she's like, I know that I can see things that no one else can see. She's like, so I'm mad. That means I'm crazy. And I see demons. So like, it's just anytime she sees them, it's probably just a reminder of the fact that her life is not ever what she wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Depressing.
What a tragic character.
Yeah.
It's not often though that like the evil stepmom has layers, even if it's a layer of like, you know, people are saying like she didn't have a lot of character growth, but she had at least had like enough there to like make you feel sorry for her. And you don't usually feel sorry for the evil stepmom.
True.
Yeah, they gave her enough backstory, and you kind of pitied her in some ways. I mean, I know I did at first, and I was hoping that it was going to be, I don't know, that being out in the wilderness was going to help, but not so much.
Also, like, I just don't like, I feel like the evil stepmom is too flat of a
description.
Yeah. So in my head, I just tried to think, okay, in the story, everybody be dying all the time. So everybody ends up being a step parent at some point to someone else's kids. So I'm just going to think of her as disappointing second mother. Wow.
Yeah. So how do we feel about Piotr? I mean, we're getting to the top of the hour, but like we haven't really talked much about him, and I waffled on him a little bit. Like, you know, he was her dad, and he was like kind of portrayed as this like noble guy. He definitely came in and saved the day at the end by sacrificing himself, but like he wasn't all that. Like, I guess for the time period.
For the time, I think he was a good guy.
He was a good guy, but still, like he was.
I feel like he tried, like within what was expected of everybody. He did try, and he knew. Like I feel like any other parent with a child like Vasya would have been a lot more unforgiving, and structured than he was.
They would have beat it out of her and then sent her away.
Yeah.
And he couldn't, like, and he did. He said, he was like, she's too young. I don't want that life for her. I don't want her to go get married. She's wild and free.
Yeah.
What her mother wanted. And I loved her mother. Like, so I don't know. I did like him.
Yeah, I mean, look, you gotta.
But that's, that's not how, I don't know. It was a different time, which I had to keep
Philip
reminding
says it
myself
well
over and over
here.
and over again.
I mean, he's stuck in a system. Like, I mean, I do think he was for the time, a good guy.
They were all products of their time, and it's the time. The time itself is what was
pretty
shit.
crappy.
Yeah.
Garbage time.
Yeah.
Garbage time. Although I do want to sleep on a warm stove. I think everyone can take that away.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Have my little domovoi like cooking me some soup or something, and I'll give him some bread, and it'll be cool.
This took place in the 1300s.
Yeah, that sucks. That's
way earlier than I
that's
thought it was going to be.
Crappy,
like 16.
Crappy time to live.
Yeah,
it's amazing that
the 1300s. So don't time travel to then.
No.
Do you have Martin's?
I can't see. There it is.
I thought yes.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
I think
because they said something about the old witch too, right? Like,
well, because her mother was considered a witch.
Yeah.
Well, not her mother, her grandmother.
The bear even called her that later, didn't he? It's like, you and your witchy eyeballs. I'm gonna get you.
Yeah.
I still liked it.
So, did anybody read any of the extra stuff at the end? Like there was, like her.
The interview.
There was an interview, and then there was like a the author's note, which was weirdly defensive. You read that? She's like, okay, I get it, people who are scholars of Russia, but like I made certain choices about how to use the language.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
I did not read the excerpt from the next book, but yeah, I read everything else. I get it though. Like she probably wrote that because she was probably already getting some flack for that. Be like, oh, you decided to write about Russian fairy tales because you went and took a course. She was like, I loved it. And obviously, like, I know, like none of this is legit, but some of it's kind of legit. Like,
yeah, she's just preempting the comment section.
Yeah.
But anyway, we are at the hour. So who's going to read on? Christy, you are.
I am, definitely.
Talia is. Lucas is not.
Shocker.
What about you?
I could. Maybe I'll wait to hear what you think of it.
Okay. I know some of our members are going to read on. Some of you are already reading on.
Yeah. Katie is. Kira is. Ashley says no.
Philip is.
Yeah. I could see coming back to it years from now, and like getting away from a story long enough to where you kind of lose it to a degree in all the details. But I'd want to read it next time and then make a decision. But there's a lot of other stuff.
Natalie, I will give you $3.50.
$3.50.
I will give you $3.50.
I'll double it.
On top of that.
Yeah. That is $7.
No, $7 on top of $3.50. So that's $10.50.
No, I was just going to double that $3.50. I don't think that's weird math.
I can buy you 2 gallons of gas.
Kristen's going to pass. Tiffany's going to read on. Bobby says, I don't know.
I think one of the good things about this book is that you don't have to read on.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And I very much appreciate
way ahead already.
I feel like they're kind of mixed. Like, it's kind of 50-50.
Joe's read on.
I'm not mad. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
Ashley,
note to the
that's
note.
great math. $1 an hour. That is what I'm willing to pay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's just,
Ah.
Natalie very politely refused our cash offer. Well, going once, going twice, gone. So that's cool. I mean, I look forward to hearing what other people say. People who have read on have enjoyed it clearly.
Philip, excellent point.
A lot of
Excellent point.
unfinished storylines.
Yes, I want to know what the necklace does, so I'm reading on.
Yes.
So it is good that we get, if you want to live more in this world, you can. And I think now that Vasya is kind of free, I think you're going to get a different type of story. At least I hope you are, because like this story was full of like oppression and like bad things and kind of coming to terms with who you are in spite of like society's rules. And now she's kind of broken out of that. So like,
I feel like we're still going to have some trouble because she's going to be
well, sure, you can't have a book without
traveling
trouble.
alone.
Still during this time,
but at least she's
Yes.
not like stuck in this sort of oppressive family structure with this like need to get her married off and all that stuff, send her to a convent. I think she's grown a lot, and I love how we in the beginning of the book we see her as literally a child and sort of like mentally a child, and now at the end of the book she's like matured a lot.
I love the names here.
Yes.
Monk warrior brother married and never mentioned again sister.
Yes.
Yeah, they show up in
very
book 2.
excited to see them again.
So if they were your favorite characters, first of all, I think you had a bad time with this book. Second of all, good news.
That's good points. Good points.
So anyway, next month we have a verdict. The video's up. Guards. By Terry Pratchett. We're going to switch gears from
it's very different,
and go to like humor. There's a lot of humor in this book, right? You've read it.
I've read it. I hope you guys like it.
And you're
I'm
excited
looking
for
forward
everybody
to it.
read it.
Just a reminder that the first discussion for this book, book that has no chapters,
Oh, that's right.
You will read to the middle, just eyeball it, about the middle of the book, to the sentence. It was certainly a very shiny sword. You had to admit that. Stop reading. Adam did not italicize shiny in the video, but it is italicized in the book, which is why I keep saying it the way that I do.
I can't italicize it here either.
We'll put little asterisks or something. It was certainly a very shiny sword. You had to admit that. And that's when you quit reading or you continue reading, but you get very, very good at not talking about what happens after it.
Yeah. And if you're curious, if you do the ebook, it's at 48%.
48%.
If you get the new version off of Amazon, which is this oddly skinny, tall book, it is page 198.
Or this older version that looks basically the same, it's page 174.
There's also like a big break after it. There's a page break after it. So
it's not a huge break. It's like one line.
It's not a huge break.
No,
it's
here
there's a break.
It's a space.
It's
a break.
Wait.
Oh, see, there's a break.
There's a little bit of break. It's a break.
A shiny sword. A shiny sword.
Too much information. So good luck.
A shiny sword.
If you're listening to the audiobook.
Oh, Natalie wants a chart.
A chart?
Oh.
Here's the circle is the book. You stop when you're through half the circle.
That's very helpful.
It's a pie. It's a pie chart.
So sorry, we picked a book with no chapters, but it happens. What kind of monster writes a book with no chapters?
Apparently, Terry Pratchett.
Are
all his books like this? I don't even know.
Terry Pratchett is beloved.
If it's worth anything, I actually wanted the stopping point to be much earlier, but then it wouldn't have been the halfway point, obviously. But there's another great break somewhere.
Yeah, there's some great
No
ones.
spoilers.
But if you never read Terry Pratchett and you're interested in getting into Discworld, this is a great introduction to Discworld.
I'm looking forward to it. I know who just said that's their first introduction.
All Discworlds have
Me.
no chapters.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah. So I mean, outside of which you kind of can't count because it was a joint book, Good Omens. Like I have not read any other Terry Pratchett, so I'm looking forward to it.
Tiffany, yes, stop when you read Shiny Sword. Though to be fair, about 16 pages earlier than that, there was also a great point that was almost the breaking point, which is he's no trouble at all apart from that, sir. All right? Just don't say monkey. Oh shit. It's just
Would have been a good.
Good.
A lot of people's first. This is my first solo Terry Pratchett. We read Good Omens, and that was a Terry Pratchett Neil Gaiman collab. But,
Let's go there, try again.
Cindy's not happy.
Uh-oh. Why?
Just to stop in the middle of the page.
Yes, it is. It is. It's in the middle of 198. That's how it is
what
in my
can you
book as
do?
well.
There's
I'm
no
so
chapters.
sorry.
We did our best.
Just put a sticky note in there and set it aside.
Yeah, just take a Sharpie and black out the whole rest of the book, and then buy another book when you're ready.
Yikes. And
but
that
it should be exciting.
discussion, that will be on April 13th. April 13th.
April 13th.
Exactly 2 weeks from today.
Y'all, it's April.
No, it's not.
Pretty
On
much.
Friday.
About to be.
On Friday, it's April. Don't do that. What are you doing? Oh my God.
What? It's fun.
Do not fold books.
I didn't fold it.
He was like
What's
bending it like all the
Yeah,
way.
you just did that.
Oh!
I know, right?
What? There's nothing wrong with it.
Stop. You're not allowed to touch the books.
Listen to this.
I don't touch the books.
Talia gets it.
Yep.
Give me something to bend.
Here. I don't need these anymore.
Bend it like Beckham.
These are my
bend it
notes.
like Beckham.
Anyway.
Barnaby's a witch.
Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you on April 13th for the first discussion of Guards. It's going to be a uproarious, rip-rootin', unadulterated, fun, witty, frequently hilarious. You can also say that about our book discussions.
Delightful and logically illogical.
Okay,
That's what it says
I'm
on
down
the
for
back.
that.
So
Superb.
it's going to be fun. I'm excited and ready.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us. We'll see you in
2 weeks.
Y'all
April.
be well.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop.